Today we are gonna stream some trading as always, and we might as well start with pre-market preparation. I'll have something to drink here first. We have some news announcements today. 30 minutes after the open, we have PMI. So something to keep track of and something that could open up the market a little bit into the open here on Monday. Otherwise, with a glance, I already had a small look at the market before I opened the stream, and yeah, it's looking like a good day for trading today. So hopefully we can find a setup here on a Monday, which is not usually my favorite day. Usually, you know, you like to see some type of value coming into the market, and then later on the week, it's more easy to predict what's gonna happen. But for sure, opportunities on Mondays too. But it's historically my worst trading day. Well, let's open our screens here and get the trading stuff on the screen. You don't have to settle on my boring face only, right? So let's start with pre-market preparation. We have a TPO here that we are looking at, and I will just in a moment start drawing a plan for us for this pre-market session. All right, everything's ready to go. Here we go. So what I usually do is I like to give a score. This time I didn't score in the pre-market itself or in the stream itself. I did it in the pre-market, yes. So before I opened the stream, I gave every setup a rating today, and ES is giving me a 71 out of 100. It's the worst setup today, but I do like to trade ES the most, so that's always a dilemma, right? Not the best setup, but it's my favorite market to trade. Well, what am I seeing in ES? I'm seeing a pull up. We have previous overnight highs and daily highs here as well, aligning with a lot of highs. Actually, we have like 4 highs aligning with these levels and some old lows as well, exactly here. So for sure a good support and resistance level just above us. So push up, rejection into previous close, and then even possibly the single prints below. This is something I'm seeing from my scenario 1. Then my second scenario is that we push down, take the previous close, and break through the resistance and find balance at higher prices. These are my 2 scenarios for the day on ES and NQ. I mean on ES. So here we go. Scenario, or this is actually scenario 2, and then we have scenario 1, which is the yellow one. All right, that's for ES. Let's look at YM then. Right? Let's erase everything. If there's a market you want me to review, let me know, and I'll do so. For sure. All right. So the play on YM is a little bit different. We are not actually really sure if the gap is gonna close above the close right now or not. Right now we are trading a little bit above it, which honestly I do like a little bit more. So if you can get the gap above the previous close, move up, reject this level here into previous close, and then we would take a poor low and single prints. I really like this trade. I give it a rating 83 out of 100. For a second scenario, we have a push down, we run the pour low and the singles, and then we would have some type of move back up, possibly even to value again. So yeah, either shorting the highs or waiting for the pour low to get taken out and then single prints turning into buyers. So that's one setup we're looking forward to day in YM. Then we have RTY. RTY has the best score out of all these setups today, giving it a 85 out of a 100. We have a pour high, which kind of acts as a magnet. And yeah, that's pretty much, it's trading inside of the previous day's range. We had a bearish close here, a bearish close here, a bearish close here. And we kind of rejected these prices, but look at this low. This low is not a clean low. This is, then again, a clean rejection. So I want to see the pour low ran and then hopefully run back into the previous close and some lower levels. Let's look at our scenario 2. The scenario 2 is just a full out push down, and then we might recover a little bit and just find balance in these areas. I'm for sure much more bearish in this specific market compared to the other markets. If I would look at I think ES is the most bullish out of all the markets today. At least pre-market. Obviously, we don't know what's gonna happen. But yeah, the other markets are really... They really have some magnets below. Every market has magnets below. But if I was to choose a market that's most bullish, I would say ES. But yeah, I'm for sure looking for these singles in pretty much every market. You can see these single print levels here. Not sure if RTY has singles. No, it doesn't. But we have some pour lows and a pour high on RTY. And overall, we're just very, very bearish on RTY overall the last trading sessions. So for sure something I'm looking for. If you have any questions about my pre-market prep or you want to see some other market prepped, just let me know. I pretty much only trade ES, YM, RTY. Nasdaq is not my forte. I don't like how Nasdaq trades too much. But, if someone's interested in Nasdaq, I can do a review of it. But otherwise, I'll just leave it untouched. I guess we can just load in and see what Nasdaq is doing for fun. We still have 6 minutes before the open. Of course, it's loading. All right. Yeah, Nasdaq also having these single prints below here. So we're kind of gapping up on Nasdaq, which is kind of interesting. It's much more bullish than the other ones. But for sure, like something like this is possible, or then a bullish scenario, we just run up and never look back. But yeah, we have a news announcement 30 minutes after the open, so the open could be very choppy, and then after the open, we start opening up. After the open, we start opening up. Kind of funny. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing here. It's gonna be a fun session for sure. If ES opens above the overnight high and the last, above the last Friday's high, then I don't like to set up for a short trade as much. In this regard, YM is the best trade. RTY as well, pretty good. I gave it a higher rating, but of course things change. So yeah, but YM has some really, really nice levels that really want to get taken out. We have a pour low here on Friday, so an incomplete low. These lows really like to get filled out eventually. And then we have some old single prints from an RTH session, which is already weeks ago. So we do have like two magnets. We do have a pour overnight high, which If we want to take out every level, either we run the overnight high into the previous close and these levels, or then we do it the other way around. We take these levels first and then we run the overnight poor high. So very clear structure, and I feel like the market really wants to correct this structure on YM, which is the reason why I really love this trade. Really love this trade. If we have any questions before the market opens, let me know. Let me know. I have to check the TPO. I'm a little groggy today. I actually had like a sleep just before the session, so I can still feel that my energy is a little bit lower than normal. 905. No, what's that number? 90. 250. All right, 250. Let's mark 250. Let's give it a label. Let's call it previous day's high. Just like that. And let's give it some color. Let's give it some yellow color so we remember it. So we can remember it. So we can remember it. Oh no. Oops. Oops. Alrighty. If anyone has any questions, let me know. Waiting for the session to open here. But YM is the market I'm really interested in today. It looks like the best setup by far, just based on structure, but obviously things can change. That's beauty of trading. That's beauty of trading. But every market's really presenting a setup today, which is nice to see, right? That's not something you see every day. 1 minute left. But remember, we do have some news. News lined up as well. So we might get a slow opening or a choppy opening because people are trying to predict what's gonna happen. All right. Here we go. 30 seconds to the opening bell. If you have any questions or something you want to ask just generally about trading or you want to learn something, just let me know. I'm really happy to talk in chat. All right, here we go. YM 100% the best setup today, so we can still very quickly show on the chart what we're looking for. This is kind of what I'm looking for, and then we have the single prints below here. So a very clean run of the overnight high is what I want to see. But obviously we could fill the previous close already here from the open, which we already did. So that plays not as great. Yes, doing its thing out of the open. Let's look at this. The order flow chart. Not quite the entry I would want to see. We tested the overnight high, which is great, but I didn't see any reason to enter at this specific level. RTY also took out the... Or did it? No, it didn't. RTY is still alive. Did not fill the gap. So RTY and ES still in play here. YM already closing. ES giving a reaction out of the highs here, but I don't see a setup here. We are still quite bullish as long as, you know, something proves me that the sellers are in control. We did test the level as I already pre-planned, but I don't see any order flow that's telling me to enter yet. So we're just gonna stay greedy here and wait for a better setup. RTY is just running to the downside of the open. ES looking like a decent run, but I'm not taking that trade blindly. All right, RTY. Maybe finding some buyers here. Let's look at it. Some green delta in here, looking like a good bullish bar in here, but not ready yet. I would have to wait for a little while to actually take that. Right now we are at the previous day's highs on ES. But I'm still not taking this trade. I don't like the specific reaction here at this level to take the trade. The old me would take this trade. The new me is too greedy to take that trade. I don't want to take it. RTY is just running to the downside. There's nothing to see. Even if we had a delta shift here, there's really nothing to see. So ES is the market we're going to look at. Now buyers turning into sellers, but really nothing happening. We're still kind of figuring this out. Alright, RTY would provide some crazy risk reward. Let's look at the TPO. Yeah, we exactly ran the overnight high, didn't we? No, yeah, on ES. On RTY we are still looking at a play, but we are right now going outside of the previous day's value in RTY. So I really feel like we could find some buying around these areas. And the risk reward on this trade could be pretty good. ES testing the overnight high with a quite good move. Unfortunately, I didn't see anything at that specific level that would allow me to specifically enter on that move. I mean, we had some positive delta. There was no clean fight at that level. We just kind of went there and rejected without any signs. So I want to see these signs come up before I would enter. Still looking for a trade in both markets. We're starting to see a green delta here. There's for sure a shift in buying right now in RTY, but as long as we are doing this, I would never go long here. Would really want to see it, you know, find some buyers and slowly turn. But we do have some magnets in the other markets to the downside as well, so gotta keep that in mind. ES testing the ETH VWAP right now, just straight line down out of the open. Straight line down out of the open. If there's anyone who has any questions about any setups I'm looking at here, just let me know in the chat. Right now, still waiting for some cleaner moves at the highs in ES before I would like take any trade here. As you can see, we did run the level as planned, but we didn't really get a reaction that says that, hey, you know, there was an actual proper fight here. Like, we just found some green delta and then we like slowly measured ourselves down. Then we got negative delta, but now we're already in ETH VWAP, and it's very possible we start doing this before news. So there's not really anything to do here. RTY long is the next option. We did find some buyers. Now I kind of want to see if we can keep this upright. But after such a big downwards move, you have to be patient a little bit. You have to wait. We can't just blindly enter long here at these levels. Because look at this. What a move. You know? We have to wait for a little while to see if there's really something here. Patient trading is best trading. You have to be greedy with every setup you're looking for. I usually get 1 to 3 setups a week. Imagine, 1 to 3 setups a week. I think I'm averaging like 2 a week, just based on my trading journal. So yeah, it's very boring and systematical, but you know, it pays for me. You know, I make a living out of it, and that's what you have to do as a professional trader. A lot of traders are, you know, gamblers in a sense, where they have no structure and they just shoot blindly and they have no idea what they're doing. You have to, you know, be patient, wait for the setup, let the setup come to you, and not be, you know, it's like, yeah, it's like hunting. You know, you're not gonna shoot into a bush where you can see what's, you know, what animal is behind there. You know, it could be anyone. It could be even, you know, like a human. You don't want to take the risk if you don't know who's there. You just hear a sound or just see some shadows. Don't shoot. Just wait for it to come in, like in front of you, and even stop, right? And then you pull the trigger. That's how you want to do it. But ES for sure having a nice downward move here. Of course, a shame to see that we didn't get a piece of that one, but RTY is kinda giving me some buying signals here, but it's still not clean. Like, we have to see a proper right side of the V type of situation for us to take this trade. We are not gonna enter into the falling knife. At a huge move downwards, we're not gonna enter against it, obviously. So we have to wait for a signal for the market to turn. And right now there are none. Every market is just flying to the downside. You might get a clean gap to sell on ES without us, unfortunately. So, how are you guys doing today? Any good setups? What's the vibe? What's the vibe? Did you have a great weekend? I for sure had. I had a Halloween party with some friends. Enjoyed my time on the weekend. That's probably also a reason why I'm so tired. Not a lot of sleep. Yeah, it's looking like a strong trend down. Out of the open. Well, you know, anything could change here. RTY is still showing some positive delta vibes here. There's for sure a divergence going on, but it's not enough for a long yet. We want to really patiently see a proper turn. I want to kind of see the EMA also flatten out a little bit. Right now we're just straightly going downwards, and you know, sometimes having an EMA can help you with not picking bad trades. It's you don't trade off the EMA, but it helps you keep your toes out of the cold water. It's like a thermometer, you know. You can check if the water's super cold or if it's warm. It could be also too hot. It could be boiling, you know. But you're checking with the thermometer first. Obviously, you know, it's not the perfect example because if the water was boiling, you would see it. But yeah, still, you get the idea. Yeah, nothing to do there, nothing to do there, and nothing to do here. So we're just waiting for the market to give us something. To give us something. All right, starting to see some buyers here on ES as well, maybe. No, the ES delta is just super negative now. Like you can see how it changed from buyers trying to push prices to just like pure selling around these areas. Obviously now it's obvious that hey, it would have been a great short here, but at this specific point where the reaction happened, there was no chance for us to even prove a point, right? All right, RTY is finding some buyers here. I really like this delta shift here. We found a huge green delta, so now if we can turn the market here, I think it could be a decent buy on RTY. If we got a change in pace here. But that's if we have to really prove that the buyers want to push prices higher. And right now we're still making lower lows. And it's looking like a very bearish setup. I do want to check the TPO on RTY once more. Yeah, I do like it. This is a big support level for RTY though. Many daily lows, many overnight lows. Is this our entry here? Let's see. Buying is present, but still not quite strong enough. But if we manage to hold this delta and find buyers here, I think this is a great entry. Great entry. So we're gonna focus here a little bit. We're looking for a play, but it's not quite there yet. You can see how now the EMA is starting to slope, and that's kind of what we want to see. We have a green delta on many candles, so we know that buyers are present here, and the EMA is sloping. But we still need a little bit more confirmation. This is not enough. Ooh, I like how they defended there. Now we are pretty close to an entry. I'm stalking here. I'm for sure stalking here. Yeah, we're... What? Oh yeah, I'm on the wrong... On the wrong... I was on the wrong... contract. Good that I have that safety in place. Alright, now we have a trade on our hands here. First trade of the week, a long trade in RTY. The reason, you can already see it. Delta shifting from big selling into buyers. We are at a huge, support level on a bigger time frame. And we still have some magnets above. So that's the logic with the trade. And we're just gonna hold it and see what happens. I'm also gonna measure the move, and then I'm gonna put a guide at the 50% line. This 50% line is where I'm allowed to add on my trade. This is where I would look for and add for half of my size. So I'm right now in for 5 contracts, so I will double my size beyond this point if the move is still continuing cleanly. But yeah, still looking for a reaction here at the VWAP. We can still we can still technically turn here at the VWAP, but I do really like my statistical edge here. We do have some magnets above. Let's display the profit and P&L ladder. So you can see I'm only risking $100 on this trade, but the risk reward is really good. We're talking about a 5-hour trade, and if I get to add here, it's even better. So risk reward is amazing. Now I kind of want to see the level break here. And remember, we have news in 12 minutes. That's very important. I don't want to be in a bad spot going into a news announcement either. Here we go. Getting a move in favor. Now it's just about playing the move to the end as our plan. Right now we're also hitting ourselves into the RTH VWAP, and we are peaking ourselves a little bit outside of value soon. So very important spot to see what's gonna happen. Things could change here very fast. But the risk reward is amazing. And we do have a great probability, I think, of getting this one. Just based on the magnets above. Obviously, you never know if it's gonna be this move or if it's gonna be, the next session we take these levels out. I have no clue. But I'm still playing to that statistical edge that I know I have. Yes, looking so much more bearish in comparison. RTY is so much more bullish than the 2 other markets. YM and ES are very, very bearish. Alright, now we have ES selling off. Huge sell-off in ES. God damn. Let's look at the delta here on our volume imprint chart, PNF chart, whatever you like to call it. I call it my order flow chart. Okay. We are finding some buyers here. Now it's just about holding this level, which is RTH VWAP. You know, we had a big down move, so I know for a fact that people are gonna look for a level or like a short trade as well in these areas. Then just hoping that we hold above these levels and we can move ourselves to the poor high and the previous close level we have set for ourselves here. ES is really looking to grab that previous close. That was a magnet. If we went short on this ES trade, it would have been a pretty big one. But obviously, price action didn't tell us to go short, so you don't short when you don't get the confirmation. Then again, RTY gave us the confirmation, and it was much easier, a much more easy trade to take. Obviously, the general market is very bearish right now, so that's the only thing that's concerning me from the RTH, or I mean, from the RTY trade to work. This RTH VWAP level will be pretty important here to see if we can claim this high here. Make a higher high would really increase the probability of us going to target here. Looking at ES on my other screen, ES really looking like it's very likely it's gonna take the previous close out, possibly even touch the overnight low. YM flying straight to the downside, and so is ES. We can look at these markets here in between. As you can see here, ES very close to its target. We had a big seller here as well, this specific level. RTY holding up quite well considering how the other market is like trying to pull it down. Alright, ES took previous close out, would have been a very beautiful trade, that one. But we're still in it to win it in RTY. I don't want to add size here because we are 5 minutes into the news announcement, and we have not so clean price action right here at this specific level. I kind of wanted it to peek its head a little bit more to the downside, but you know, we're still waiting here to see if we can make a change in that. All right, trying to make, we made already a higher high in RTY. Not bad. Three minutes to news. So we have to wait for the news announcement here first before doing anything else. I'm not gonna add into the position unless I feel 100% confident in the ad. And right now there's two things. This, and then we look at the time, 3 minutes before we have news. So we're not gonna add here, we're just gonna wait. Wait for some structure. We picked ourselves just shy of the value area. So right now these areas here are where price has rejected before, and yeah, this is gonna be a spot where people are looking for short trades 100% in these areas. But we are gonna hold our long trade to the goal. We are already almost 50% to the target. And we want to add size into it, right? Want to add size into it, but right now there's really nothing to do. Let's see if we can run this poor structure here. Run this poor structure and then make a higher high. Then it would be a perfect add position. Then I would be very stoked to add. Right now, 30 seconds into the news, PMI, right now, don't go anywhere. We're gonna get some action here, I think. We have our stop in place. We might get some volatility right in 20 seconds. We should have a quite good stop position in RTY. But you never know. You never know. 10 seconds. Let's cross our fingers and hope that we get a good reaction. Not really a lot of... Not a huge reaction here. Some type of rejection. Maybe we can run now this level and then make a higher high. That would be a beautiful, beautiful play if we can get that. But yeah, every market rejecting a little bit to the downside here. There we go. What a huge reaction that was now. It came a little bit late. It came a little bit late, but we got it. Now what we want to see is make a higher high into the close here. This is where we are hoping that the price action would turn. We don't want to see it come back and take us out. That's obviously possible, but kind of want to see it start turning now. And then if we can make a higher high here and enter this 50% extension, I would look to add into the position and get my sizing up, and obviously my stop would be moved from these levels to somewhere around here or here, depending on what type of structure we have at that specific time. But right now we're just waiting for a turn up. Have a small cough. Small cough. There we go. Let's make a higher high now and then add to our position. And hopefully we can get a huge trade here on our hands today. We missed our huge ES trade. It would have been nice to catch both of these moves, honestly. If a winner in RTY and ES would have been a beautiful combination of a trading day, but RTY was for sure the better setup. It was also the best setup going into the day, just based on my rating, as you remember. Really bumping our head into the RTH VWAP here. Delta is still looking like it's rising, so we do have some buyers coming in here, but price is not yet reacting too much to the upside. We're still trying to push through this level. I'm not sure how the government shutdown is affecting the news events either. I haven't really looked into that. I might have to do my research and due diligence. I'm not sure how this week's news announcements will be, but we do have some bigger news announcements. I think we have another PMI. We should have NFP. So we do have some like bigger news going forward this week. I think NFP was on Friday, if I remember correctly. All right, now we're reacting to the downside. Going back to our entry again. A higher high is all we want, and that would be a perfect add position. This is what we want to see. Add. We probably react like this, and then we take a close. Kind of what I'm seeing, or hoping for here. Again, trying to fight our way above the EMA, and then we do also have Mr. RTH VWAP still here, so we would have to break 2 of these. If we can close above 2 of these, then I think the probability goes much higher that we continue our move upwards and actually make a higher high, which would be amazing for our trade. And this is where we would add, because the probability increases significantly for our bet here. But right now, we're just waiting. Just waiting. All right, now we are kind of looking to clear the 9 EMA. Let's clear the RTH VWAP at the same time and fly away. Still really struggling. I have someone sending me Steam messages right now. And oh boy, are they trying to get me to click on some scammy scammy links. We are not about that. We had a big buy order here in RTY as well. So did we have in ES? All the markets having a buy order. Okay, I'm gonna block this guy on Steam. What is this annoying guy? Block all communication. Yes, great. No one likes people promoting on your friends list. At least when it's a scam. Alright. Still trying to push through the RTH VWAP. What I do like is that now the other markets are giving some type of reaction here as well. YM and ES giving good bottom vibes. So if now RTY can kinda follow up with this, it would be an amazing opportunity here for us to make a higher high and cash out on a good gap to sell trade. but not quite doing it, right? We are still, struggling here at this specific level. Not wanting to break through the RTH VWAP. He had some really good buying delta, turning into a little bit of selling. Still trying to push through this level here, which has obviously been a bit of a hassle. Let's increase our data here so we can get some more bars into it. Let's see if we can break the RTH view up here. I hope it's not gonna be one of those 4-hour trades again. We had that one on, was it Tuesday last week, where we were 4 hours in the trade? Those ones are always rough, at least on stream, because when I'm not streaming, I can just, go away and just let it do its thing once I'm done with the moves, and I can put alerts, and come back when I need to. But when you're trading on stream, I have to be here the whole time. And, it's already hard enough to speak an hour, but to speak to yourself for 4 hours when nothing's happening in the market and it's just going back and forth, that's really hard to do. Really hard to do. Really hard to do. All right. Still rejecting RTH VWAP here. Not seeing anything specific on the PNF bar. Delta is kind of turning negative. It's very interesting how now ES is finding a really good buying opportunity here, but RTY is not following anymore. We held this level very nicely on RTY. I feel like now is time to go if we want to go and make this trade a winning one. Obviously the risk to reward on this trade is amazing, and we had a really good entry here. Really good entry. I guess we can put that on as well. Show trades, apply. You can see we entered here. Entered here on this specific bar. I really liked how the delta shifted here previously, and then we closed above the EMA. Okay, right now we're back to our entry. Back to our entry again. There's really no news left today. YM and RTY are now quite similar to each other, I would say. Whereas ES is now the stronger of them, the two or three. Interesting. For sure seeing some negative delta here across the board. You can see how we tried to push through. We had really good push, but no follow-up, and then the sellers just took control. I still like the level we entered from, so we're not gonna start scratching or anything. We're just gonna wait. Sometimes the trade likes to come back to where you entered. We could also make a lower low here and then find another entry. That's totally fine too. But for now, we're still playing the idea we had initially. And we get stopped out. For small loss. That's totally fine. We do have some buying here again at this specific level though. So we're not gonna give it up yet. Let's look at YM. YM is selling down quite hard. That's not a clean low. Not a clean low. We do see some delta shift here again. So you can see how we had a big move down, but we are seeing green delta again. This is for sure an area where we have some buyers. So let's see if the buyers are here back again. Back again at this specific level. We ran the low now in RTY. I really want to see us develop that into a higher high. This could be a possible double bottom, but we'll see. We'll see. ES already reacting as well. You have to remember that it could be also a downtrend day. All right. This is now the level where I want to start seeing the bulls defending. We had some buyers here at these levels. We ran past it. Now I want to see it start grinding up again. I want this to be a stop run. If we continue a lot down from here, then the play is over. The play is over if that happens. But for now, if we move back still, it's gonna be fine. But this is the area where we really want to see it turn. Okay, we see some shift in delta here now. A little bit. But still, sellers... Okay, it's still increasing very strong for sellers. I thought that was gonna be a delta shift there, but looks like we're still looking for the downside here on RTY. But we had some volume here, so usually volume is a good sign. If we can turn it here. If we can turn it around these areas, volume is a great sign. If not, then the breakout volume was probably legit, and we're looking at a continuation. But right now, we're looking for a turn here. And if we can close above these areas here, above the EMA, and get the EMA sloping, and make like a stop run-esque move, then it would be a clean, you know, double bottom type of situation. But if we do this, then I'm not too much of a fan, but still we have a very balanced profile, and we're right now outside of balance here. This area will be key. If we can break out above this area, it's gonna be key. Because this is an area that we have moved through very fast. So this low volume is gonna be key for our continuation. We have to break above. We have to break above here. Still not getting it. We do have some big sellers down here. 220 lot, 259 lot at this specific level. Yeah, I'm not seeing a play here right now, to be honest. Not seeing a play here, to be honest. Yeah, not really seeing a trade here. We kind of had the move to the downside. All right. Well, obviously it's not gonna be a gap to sell day today. I mean, we are off plan already. We ran this level quite well, and it's looking like we might actually go to the 2430 level. All markets are trending down. We created some single prints as well in RTY. So yeah, pretty much nothing to do here. If anyone has any questions at this point of the stream, let me know. But for me, it looks like trading has ended 100%. We had a good shot. The entry was great. Really, there's really no better entry than that, in my opinion. So, but hey, sometimes it goes like that. Moved in favor, moved against us. We cut our risk very tight. Good trading overall. From the man, from the myth, from the legend himself. um, but yeah, there's really nothing to do here. We have a downwards trend day. Trend day is not usually the best ones for me. Um, we would have had a winner in ES, let's be honest, but yeah, my rules didn't allow me to enter there, so we just had to let that trade go. It was great risk reward on that trade though. But yeah, I'm pretty much ready with my training day today. Hopefully you all had a great time. If you have any questions, let me know in the chat right now. I'm still reading the chat. If you need any help with your trading, um, let me know. Oh, it's saying 161 days. I mean, should be 16 days. Let's let's fix that. Let's fix that. Okay. There we go. There we go. There we go. Any questions? Let me know in chat right now. If not, then your dude is gonna close his stream, take the L on Monday, and come back stronger tomorrow. Right? That's the plan. Looks like there is no questions in chat. I want to let you know that you should have a great day, and hopefully you had a very profitable trading session here today. A pretty big move you could catch if you're going for the short trade. And yeah, I think this is gonna continue. It's gonna be a trend day today with a very high probability. We had the news announcement, and that's kind of what started this down move. The news announcement itself wasn't like a huge bearish event or anything like that, but it started all this. We didn't even, or we actually tested the open of the news announcement, and that kind of was what made us tip over to the downside on most markets. All right, good session, good stuff. I'm a little bit tired, so I'll probably go and take a nap. Get some food. I haven't eaten anything today yet. But yeah, great stuff. I'll see you tomorrow. Just out. Bye bye. Bye bye.